Hi, my name's Joe. I've been a Kiss fan since I was 7 years old. My neighbor let me listen to his Love Gun record, and between the album cover and the music, I was hooked. I, like every other kid on my block, was blown away by the pictures I had seen of them, the music I had heard from them, and the rumors I had heard about them. The blood was real. So was the fire. Gene's tongue was a cow's tongue. They always wore the makeup, and no one ever saw them without it. I remember very clearly being at my grandmother's house one afternoon when she was watching General Hospital. A commercial came on for the new record Kiss Unmasked. I ran straight to my mother and asked if I could get it. She told me, "If you go to camp, when you get back, I'll get it for you." Up until that moment, I had argued and fought every day because I didn't want to go to camp. Boom. There I am, waiting to go to camp. I got on that bus and went, and it sucked. 2 weeks of torture. But when I got home, I got that record. I'm 47 now, and like most of you watching this, I never stopped following the band. I've collected everything Kiss I could get my hands on. I've seen the band countless times, met them, gone on the cruises, and for the past 5 years, I've even hosted my own podcast about them. Recently, I was sitting in my room and I was thinking, it'd be really cool to tell my story. And then I thought, it'd be even more cool if I could tell our story about our love for the greatest rock and roll band of all time. We're hanging out with Julie and Eric. We met Eric about a year ago on Kiss Cruise 8, and Julie we actually met the day before we filmed this. Julie and Eric have some really cool stories. Julie even has cool pictures that she drew when she was a kid, and we're going to show them to you in this episode. So check it out.
Julie Ullman. Let me think. What year I became a Kiss fan? Probably 1976.
Eric Alberty. I'm a podcast Rock City veteran, but my story's a little different. I became, I would say, a hardcore Kiss fan really just about 5 years ago.
Awesome. Tell us how you discovered the band.
My mother and father, my mother actually bought my sister the Destroyer album for Christmas. And when she opened it, I was like, what is that? Who are they? I have to have this. So I quickly stole the album from my sister, started playing it all the time, quickly fell in love with Paul Stanley. Mm-hmm. He was the one, I was like, who is that one? I know that's the one I like. Listened to that album religiously, started drawing pictures of Kiss. That was just my band for the rest of my life, So,
if you don't mind me asking, how old were you?
At the time, I was 12 when I first.
12 years old,
12 years
loving
old.
Paul Stanley.
Loving Paul Stanley.
So, is Destroyer your favorite album?
Of course. Yeah, I would say probably.
Yeah.
That was the one that originally introduced me to Kiss, so it's always been one of my favorites.
Paul Stanley's still absolutely your favorite.
I have his tattoo on my arm.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I got his signature tattooed this year.
That's awesome. And Eric, how did you discover the band?
I hope this isn't repetitive for people who had heard me on, I think it's Kiss Cruise about a year ago, right? Where we met and we talked. But I'm 46. Growing up in the 70s in America, you were aware of Kiss. You knew who Kiss were, especially as they were peaking in 77, 78. I was definitely afraid of Gene Simmons. Any image of Gene Simmons would just make me go run and hide like a little girl. I had siblings who would tease me with Kiss posters. I just absolutely hated the imagery of Kiss, but I enjoyed some of the music. I remember hearing Dr. Love at a young age. I remember hearing New York Groove on the radio. I remember hearing I Was Made for Loving You, of course, Rock and Roll Night. I liked the music, but the imagery it was so strong. My mother made me watch Phantom of the Park when it came on TV Halloween night in '78 to try to make me face my fears, and I think I cried for most of the night and kind of like watched the movie in between fingers, and I'd see Gene particularly, and I'd close my fingers. I was such a little wussy about Kiss for a long time, and I know that Craig Smith, who does Pods and Sods, has that same feeling about, especially the Alive 2 image of Gene. It looks like he literally ate somebody alive. Just that bloody image. Oh, yeah. So that was my early exposure to Kiss, and who would have thought, 40 years later, I'd be where I'm at today.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if you know this, but in that picture, he'd actually just bit the head off of a puppy.
It sure looks like he did.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh my, yeah, just that image to me, it's still even today. I mean, clearly I know I had Gene right on my vault. The blood wasn't real, right, Eric? Because I've shared with Gene how I was pretty afraid of him as a little boy. But even today, that is a scary image if you really focus on it. It really kind of still is, even today. And it doesn't scare me too much.
So when I first met you, Eric, your favorite song was Mr. Speed.
It's Got to Choose.
It's Got to Choose?
It's always,
now,
yeah.
When you met Paul Stanley to get your guitar signed, what did you have him sign it?
Oh, what did I have him sign on my guitar? Mm-hmm. We had a great conversation about aging. Paul and I did.
Really?
Yeah,
awesome.
we did, because I've lost a lot of weight in the last few years, and I'm pretty serious about eating well and being in the gym and all that good stuff. And so Paul and I had a great conversation about getting old, and he really related to that. We had a great meeting with Paul. It was my first time meeting him, and it was so awesome.
That's cool.
But yeah, I had him write. They write down exactly what you want them to write. It's all pretty scripted, and that's cool. I get it. But I had him write, Eric, keep kicking age in the ass every day and let the music keep you young. And Paul was great. He's like, I get it. I'm going down swinging.
That's awesome.
Paul was wonderful with that.
You remember the first time you saw them in concert?
Yeah, I think it was back in, God, what was the year that I told you I saw them in Orlando?
We were thinking it was probably
90.
It was Crazy Nights of Revenge.
So 87.
Maybe not Hot in the Shade. Hot in the Shade. I think
Hot
it was
in the Shade.
Shade.
It was Hot in the Shade.
Probably Hot in the Shade.
Okay, so,
I just remember it was in
89.
Orlando, Florida.
No makeup.
No makeup. Paul had on these sparkly rhinestone high top Converse, and I was like, "Oh my God!" He was in his like true form of just dancing his butt off. So it was awesome. I mean, I left that show and I was like, I floated home.
Sure. Now
She loves some Paul.
Oh, I get it. Me too.
Don't all
Why not?
women.
He's amazing.
I love Paul.
My favorite member's always been Peter. I always thought he had the best voice in the band. Really interesting character. But you gotta love all the guys.
Well, the first time I saw him, he scared the bejesus out of me. It was Gene Simmons, and he still is to this day. My favorite.
Ace Frehley, easily my favorite Kiss member of all time.
The Kiss Cruise, you feel like you are part of the Kiss elite, the Kiss inner circle. You get to meet the band with pictures. If you have, you could do the meet and greets with Paul and Gene. You have special activities with the band. They do interviews, and you really get the inside scoop of everything that's going on. And the ship is filled with 2,000 fanatical fans with the same passion I have, and I feel right at home there. I mean, really, it is, in terms of a Kiss event, it is the Kiss event.
Kiss Cruise, 7, New Orleans. That was the most amazing time because my wife surprised me. She said, "Oh, we're going on a Kiss Cruise." I've been on Kiss Cruise 1, 2, 3, 4, and it was great. And nothing like the KK1. That's amazing. It was all discovery, but for good times, it was KK7 because I finally had my Creatures picture, and that was the first concert I ever saw. So that's the furthest I've ever traveled for Kiss. And we went on a boat with Kiss. Walking in for my first Kiss picture on KK1, my legs went, took a picture. It was not the picture I wanted. So when I exited, I kind of fell on my knees. I cried like a baby of excitement, of sadness and everything. So I had to go back the next year and the next year and the next year just to live that experience.
Yes, I've been on 3 Kiss cruises, and going this year, looking forward to it. It's a great time. If anybody has a chance to go on it and they have not, absolutely do it.
Especially in the past year, that we've known each other, you've really gone for it as far as your favorite band. And I know you'll hear people about this all the time. They'll go, "Oh, I traveled here, I traveled there, but everywhere I've been, there's Eric." And I love you, man. I love seeing you. It's really cool. I met you on the cruise. It's been awesome. How has this past year changed your life?
Yeah. I without getting personal, I've had some life changes in the last, few years. The changes I felt like I needed to make. I spoke about the physical things, and that was certainly a part of that, but more than just that stuff. And Kiss has been. They've been a constant for me, for whatever reason. And I know I can certainly verify if Rich Kozak ever listens to this from Mr. Speed, Paul in Mr. Speed. I saw them about 5 years ago, and that band hooked me, and really wanted me to delve into this Kiss phenomenon that I kind of bypassed. And I even saw them in '96 for the reunion show. I was a casual fan at that point, but for whatever reason, about 5 or so years ago, seeing Mr. Speed I went home that night and I YouTube Kiss till 3 in the morning. And all of a sudden I just could not get enough. So yeah, over the last year, especially since the cruise, I've decided to really commit to my Kiss experiences. Partly because I knew it was becoming my happy place, and partly because I knew that this end of the road thing, we knew it was coming before they announced it. We knew that we were on borrowed time with this band, and I feel like I've been kind of playing catch up for the last few years, especially. And yeah, without a doubt, these experiences, one of the great things has been the people I have been able to meet. I haven't had a big social circle for whatever reasons over the years. I grew up in an inner city neighborhood, didn't leave knowing a lot of people, in jail, dead, whatever, left college not having a lot of strong connections. So for whatever reason, I just kind of drifted through life and got married and didn't have these strong connections. And the Kiss community, the Kiss Army, has been so huge for me in terms of just networking with awesome people like Joe and Karen and amazing people from the States and from around the world by going on the cruise. It's meant the world to me. And, to meet this wonderful person right here I'm sitting next to, Julie, on this past Kiss cruise was something completely unexpected and wonderful. And so, yeah, I am enjoying the ride big time.
Okay, so I have one more question before we get to Julie. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the girls.
Yes.
Your girls.
Yes.
Who I love. They support their father's Kiss love. And I've seen them, I met them on the cruise, but then I ran into them at the vault, and they were just they helped me tease you. And of course, we're going to tell the story about walking out on Ace and not getting her tattoo, and we'll get there. But your girls, they love Kiss.
Yes, I have 18 and 15-year-old daughters. Hi, Allison, 18, and Caitlin, who's 15. And I took Allison to see that Mr. Speed tribute band 5 years ago. That was just she and I that night. And then eventually that summer, we all 4 went and saw the band and proceeded to follow them around quite a bit and really kind of started to bond over Kiss. We would watch Kissologies in the basement and really it was just a wonderful experience for us. My life has changed, but I can tell you what has not changed is my daughters love Kiss. We have second row seats for Columbus, Ohio in March. We're very, very excited about seeing them together. So yeah, my daughters and I, we really had this very, very cool connection over music, and especially with Kiss. And thank you so much for asking about them, Joe. Yeah, they've been very, very supportive through some challenges and some transition and some change. Kiss has still been a constant for us.
Absolutely.
You know, so they've been awesome.
Julie, so we're going back to 12 years old for you, you know, which was just 10 years ago. So
give or take.
So you've been a diehard, like you saw Destroyer, you started listening to it, you never stopped loving Kiss.
Never stopped loving Kiss. I mean, there were a couple of years in there where I kind of took some time off, but I still loved Kiss when Kiss wasn't cool. So, you know, even through that teasing, oh, you still like Kiss? And I'd be like, yeah, I kind of had to be a closet Kiss fan for a few years there. But, you know, when the computer age came about, it was like always my passwords were always Paul Stanley, Kiss, but, you know. So, you know, they were always kind of there in the back of my mind, and, you know.
I have a friend that has to change his password now after watching this.
Uh-oh.
And you.
Yeah.
And me.
Yeah. Kind of have to switch them up every now and then. I don't get to use the same stuff anymore.
Right.
But yeah, I've been a fan all along, and, you know, just always kind of enjoyed, like, you know, listening to the music and following them. And, you know, I used to buy the magazines, and I was in the Kiss Army. I have my original Kiss Army paperwork from when, I mean, it's 40 years old, I think, you know.
That's awesome.
That's back when you got like a folder in the mail with, you know, a decal, an iron-on decal in it, and
that's terrific.
Still have that stuff.
She showed me that, as well as the drawings that she mentioned.
Yeah.
She has them, pristine,
Like
no
you drew
wrinkles.
when you were a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Magazines with posters in them still, and yeah.
That's awesome.
My personal favorite memory was the first time actually meeting Paul and Gene in '95 at the Kiss conventions. I was from here maybe to that camera from them. Got to talk with them for about a half hour. Wonderful.
I guess it would actually have to be meeting Bruce and Eric. I met them both at Cincinnati and Kiss, and Cincinnati and in Indianapolis at Kiss Expos. And you know, they're real good guys. They're just like the rest of us. You know, they're not larger than life, but still like to believe they are.
Ooh, oh, that one's hard. One of my best Kiss memories that's a very unique one to this was when I met Paul Stanley when I was like 6th or 7th grade, something like that. I was little, I was about this big, so I was in 6th or 7th grade. And we were in a kind of away from everything area. It was a meet and greet at this old music store, Mars Music, and we found out the hall that they were going to bring him in through. So security was bringing him in, and everybody's like, oh, move along, and he wasn't talking to anyone. But I was the only little kid in there. I was tiny. I was in 7th grade, and he stops directly at me and like puts his arm on my shoulder. He said, "This is a fan," and he talked to me for a second. No one else in the hall. And Paul's just like, "Hey, how you doing, little guy? You having a good time?" and all this. I couldn't even speak. You know, it's Paul. And so he was excited. He talked to me for a second. Then he kind of went along his way. And then when we went in there to meet him, for all the photos, everyone's doing the awkward like lean over the table photo, as we all know. He like pulls me around the table. He's like, "We're getting a good one." He's like hugging me and everything. I'd love to find that. If I find that picture, I'll send it to you guys.
So we're coming to the end. Kiss is going to every person does that little tear thing. You notice that? It's
Yeah.
pretty funny.
Yeah.
The okay. So the reason why I'm asking this question is because everybody seems to have a different opinion of what end of the road means. So tell us yours. Do you think that Kiss is going to just completely stop, or do you think Paul is, or do you think they're going to do an acoustic show here and there, like at Vegas, or just touring, or is Kiss just done? In your opinion, what? And also tell us what you hope.
You want to go first?
No, I want you to go first. I need to think.
Do you think this is it? Do you think they're going to hang up their boots and?
Maybe this is the last time we see them in makeup with the big, you know, with the pyrotechnics and the lighting and maybe the big show. That might be it. I'm hoping that they keep doing the cruises, even after the end of the road tour. I'm hoping that maybe they go out and do some smaller venues. I'm hoping that they don't hang it up, because I see that they're involved in so many other things, and maybe they're getting a little bit old for the full makeup tour thing. But I'm hoping to still kind of hear from them now and then.
If all of a sudden you found that there was an American Kiss, like an Australian Pink Floyd,
Yeah.
so American Kiss,
Yeah.
and they were sponsored by the band and supported by the band, would you go see something like that?
I might go see it, but to me it won't be Kiss. To me it won't be, if none of the original guys are in the band, it'll be a tribute band. It'll be a Kiss tribute band to me.
Well, let's say that's what it was supposed to be.
And maybe I would go see them
A
if I.
Kiss-sponsored tribute band.
And that may, that might be fun to go see them. Why not?
Why not? Okay. What would you pay for that?
I was just thinking about that.
Would you pay $50 to see a Kiss-sponsored tribute band with the Kiss Alive stage or Alive 2 stage?
Yes, I would probably. Yes, I would.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I bought front row tickets for Hershey, so
Yeah.
yeah.
$50. Why not?
Why not spend 50?
Sure.
Yeah.
Eric?
Well, yeah, I agree with Julie's sentiment that I think we're no longer gonna see these four guys breaking out the platform boats, the pyro, the big production. Yeah, those days are going to be done. So I've got tickets now for
8 shows.
8 shows.
Wow. That's awesome. You're making sure you get it all in.
I am. Like I said, I still feel like I'm playing catch up. And, I think we have those fans out there that exist in the Kiss Army who kind of are the chest puffers. And I first saw the band in 1975, and I've seen them 100 times. And I know I can't compete with those guys. And I'm good with that. But again, I'm just enjoying the ride while the ride's still operating.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I do think that'll be the end of that. The cool thing is Paul is really enjoying, I think, his life outside of Kiss. How much more he'll still do with like Soul Station, I don't know, but I think we might still see Paul, continue to work with his art and make his appearances. And Gene's always active doing something. Would it be cool to see like them get together for an occasional acoustic show somewhere at some casino or something? Or maybe you might see that, but I think those will be few and far between. I think in some respects, I think Paul and Gene they're ready for a different phase.
They're done.
I really do. I think it's probably been overdue in some respects, but we're glad that they've continued to forge ahead, because my daughters wouldn't have seen them if it hadn't been for Eric and Tommy helping continue to keep this band going.
Yeah.
You guys wouldn't have met.
We wouldn't have met. There would be no
I'm going to
Kiss
take my
Cruise
son to
8.
his first Kiss cruise, or to his first Kiss show this year.
How old's your son?
He's 18.
18. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, last question. Let's say somebody's watching this, they stumbled across it, and they've never been a big Kiss fan. What would you say to tell them that they need to go and see this final tour?
You're never going to see a show like it ever again. You'll never see a show on a stage as awesome as Kiss. They're the original 3-ring circus. I don't know, the original showman. You'll never see a stage show like that ever again.
Yeah, what I think is so sad is that, I know that there have been artists who have kind of emulated Kiss in terms of some pyro and big stage shows, but imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. I believe that wholeheartedly, but you're only ever going to have one Kiss.
Yep, there's only one real Kiss.
You're never going to have someone come around that's going to be embraced the way Kiss was and feel the need to be as bombastic and in your face and make you leave a show not forgetting what you heard and what you saw over that hour and a half, 2 hours. No one's ever going to do that again, ever. And for anybody who's never had a chance to see that, I'm so glad that we were able to get a couple, it's going to be down in New Orleans. we're not sitting together. I already got tickets with some buddies, but we were able to score a ticket for her and her son, a nice seat right near Gene's side of the stage. Right. He's never seen Kiss, and I said to her, I said, my hope, because I'd love to sit by her, but no, I'm going to sit with my buddies, and I want her to sit with her son. My hope is that they leave that show with the same kind of bonding experience that I've had with my daughters, because I'd like to believe that's going to stay with us for a long time ahead, and we're always going to have that connection with my girls is through Kiss. And so maybe that turns into something with her and her son. That's my biggest hope for someone who's never seen the band before, is that happens with Corey and Julie.
Yeah.
Awesome.